Welcome, Libra Scorpio, to your mid-month reading for February. Hope you friends are having a great Valentine's Day. Wishing you all love and light. If you friends like this, please like and subscribe. Okay, friends, let's see what's going on with you in the mid-month. Getting straight into your energy. This is what you're thinking, feeling, or the energy surrounding you. This reading is taking place from the 14th to the 22nd. Okay, let's see what's going on for you. Most important message from the 14th to the 22nd for Libra Scorpio. Most important message. Oh, there it is. Fell right out. Chariot upside down. Okay. Well, with the Chariot upside down, could be some kind of setback that's going on with you. Maybe you even feel it's a little unrealistic. Could be some kind of switch up between you and your partner going on right now. Having choices. Decisions and choices that are kind of like, I don't feel like we're on the same page, and that's causing a setback. Definitely time for a change, no matter what, whether it's a change in ideas, a change, just some kind of change. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody. Let's clarify on that first before we get to the decisions over here. What's going on with you? This card not only going to clarify on the Chariot, but the entire reading. Taking back the authority for this change. It feels like it's almost like kind of a challenge mode. You guys are not on the same page. You need to work things through to make things flow a little bit better. Making better decisions together, or, you know, but you have to come together to make this decision, right? And if it's not you and another person, which could be an Aries or a Taurus, or Aries, Taurus, Cusp, or a Cancer, right? However it is, it doesn't have to be any of those. But if it's not with you and another person, it's just yourself coming to the conclusion that there needs to be a better decision made for change, right? I get how it resonates. Let's see what's going on in the situation. The situation is taking place in the present, the near past, and the near future. Yeah, there's no victory and no success right now because you have to come to this conclusion of what you're going to do, right? Whether it's you and them or you're just yourself. When you're indecisive, nothing's going to happen, right? You're not on the same page. It's not going to happen. With the love begins and the waiting game in the near future, so you have this 3 where you have to come, you have 3, right? And it's interesting because 2 is going to make the balance. 1 in the near past was like this new idea, this new beginning of an idea. 6 is trying to find the harmony. And then of course you have 3 cards out, and it's funny because it's like 2 plus 1 is 3, and then 6 breaks down to 3. So no matter how you want to see it, it feels like this needs to definitely have some kind of harmonious balance going on over here to get to where you need to be. And it does feel like for stability, no matter what, and with the authority over here. And if it's with you and another person, you both might be trying to take the power on by yourself. Like, I want to be the leader. No, I'm the leader. And it just feels like you're both trying to be the leader. If you're by yourself, it's just you trying to take the control of the situation to come to this conclusion of how this is going to work to get your victory and your success. With the love begins over here, it feels like a very lovely idea. Yeah, it's like you offered this cup between you and this person. It could be a water sign. We have Pisces here. However it is, it's really offering yourself, or you guys offer the ideas together. And it's like, hey, look, I have this idea that I'm offering you. And this is pretty much where the love began, because it felt like in the past, if there's 2 of you, you were working on the same page together. it was working out just fine. Everything was going lovely. And it felt like there was this unity between the two of you to where, you know, we can settle this together, or we came up to this idea together, right? And if, of course, if it's just by yourself, the same idea, right? Just using yourself. I kind of offered this, like I had this great idea, and I took this from my intuition, you know, this creative idea, and I'm going forth with it. It does feel like for a lot of you, there is another person involved, though. With the Five of Swords, it was because there was a lot of things that were going on behind maybe the scenes in certain areas that you were not going to take anymore, right? You might have felt like something was stolen from you, an idea, so you had to come up with a new idea. But there were things behind the scene going on, so you had to get this fresh new idea for something that you love. It feels like maybe somebody stole your idea for some of you, or it was just stolen. Maybe it was a job, right? I lost my job, they stole it away from me, so now I have to come with this new creative idea. Take it how it resonates, because you do have the Five of Swords. That is just something that it just feels like something went awry, and you have to come up with a new idea, and it feels like you and your partner or somebody had to do this. And if this was just an idea that you felt you could do just where the love begins, maybe you also just felt it was temporary, right? It's just temporary. Maybe you didn't see it as a lifetime thing. It was just temporary until you got to something else, right? Till you got to your victory and success. So maybe that is also it as well. Okay. And it could have been very liberating for you as well with the Five of Swords. So it doesn't always have to be a bad card. It doesn't always have to be theft or this or that or irresponsible. It's actually, if anything, it's a little bit more like taking on the responsibility. Maybe you had to take the responsibility away from someone else, right? Put it into your own hands. The Page of Coins. Wow. Okay, but then all of a sudden the perfect timing for this does come through. It feels like it was an idea that you did go forth with. It did feel like it was only temporary. Maybe you didn't want it to be temporary. With the Page of Coins, it feels like this was something that ended up temporary, that I actually wanted to keep continuing to go forth with. Because it was a really good idea, and you know, me and my partner or my friend or whoever, we had a great, you know, because this, I mean, this is the support, right? This is the support. So it could be a job, it could be an industry. Maybe you built a business. Maybe you only were open temporary, and you tried to figure out new ways of doing something to not make it just temporary, but it backlashed, it backfired. So all of a sudden you have new challenges coming with the Page of Coins. It just all of a sudden became a challenge. And if it's a financial investment or something, you guys definitely was temporary. I think you guys made some kind of, it could be a YouTube channel, it could be anything. And you did something, and it felt like it was going to last a lot better because it was a really great idea. It was something that you loved doing, but it didn't last as long as you wanted it to. So therefore, your investment became in challenge mode to keep it going, right? If it's love, then maybe it was, we found a place that we love going. Maybe it was a place that they didn't have lockdown for, you know, maybe it was a park or something that they didn't have locked down during the lockdown. And then all of a sudden they decided to lock that down too. So it was only temporary to be able to do such a thing, right? And now you're like, oh man, I'm waiting for that to open. Take it how it resonates, could be anything. But definitely in some kind of challenge mode, and it feels like you guys are trying to do something, right? And you're very overwhelmed by this situation because it didn't go as long as you wanted it to go, is really what it feels like. So you kind of had to disconnect from this. And it just feels very frustrating with the Temperance upside down. And now it feels like you guys are trying to do something else, or you are trying to do something else to get that love to begin again by thinking of something else to get to victory and success, but you guys are not working on the same page, right? So with the victory and success, and it feels like you're both trying to be the boss. That's how it feels. It feels like you're both in boss mode. Yeah, Queen of Staffs over here. Well, I'm very loyal to what I want and the victory that I want. You guys could definitely be dealing with a fire sign as well. And they are very loyal too. And it just feels like what needs to happen is two great creative ideas. And this is very creative. Two creative, great ideas need to come together to work together. And it feels like you both have creative ideas, but you're not seeing eye to eye on how you're going to get to this victory and success. There's no victory and success when you guys are pulling apart. If you're just single, it's the same idea. Maybe you're just confused and you're pulling yourself apart because you can't come to the conclusion of what it is exactly that you want, right? You can't figure out what it is where your real secret passions are. Maybe you have a lot of different kinds of secret passions. Maybe your heart's desire is in all kinds of areas. So it's like trying to pull them together over here to try to figure this out, Libra, Scorpio, okay? Because it's almost like you're pulled in two different directions. If you have your heart's desire in one place and another place, it can give conflicting ideas, right? And yeah, like I said, for a lot of you, it's two of you trying to unite your passions, desires together. So if you're trying to run a business together, and maybe it's an online store or something like that, you can, say, well, I want to sell coffee cups, and they're going to say, but I want to sell shirts more. You need to come to common ground about what this store is really about, or is it just a boutique, right? And maybe they don't want a boutique. Maybe they just want to sell t-shirts. It's a t-shirt store. And you're like, no, it's a boutique. And you have to try to come together to unify what this is, right? Or like I said, you can't go to the park anymore. Maybe you're trying to figure out, I want to go to the mountains. I want to go to the beach, however it is. But you have to find common ground together, and you have to work together, because you both being in boss mode is not going to help, because you guys are bumping heads. Or you're bumping heads with yourself, okay? Logical mind, intuition, right? If it's just yourself. King of Coins. There's that Taurus energy coming through. However it is, someone's being very stubborn, and that's the first thing I see with the King of Coins. You both know that you have a prosperous idea, or you have a prosperous idea. You want to go with this because this is where you're going to make money. No matter how you see it, you guys, this is going to be the money-making prosperity for you. So even if you're disconnected and can't come together with yourself on what it is, and you're not sure which way, you know that they both have prosperous foundations, right? I can be prosperous on either one of these. And it's really just you wanting to be stable as well, and really wanting to just feel stable. You want the stability. This is all about feeling comfortable. It's really, the King of Coins is Taurus. They just want their material stuff. They want to be prosperous. They want to relax. They want to be chill. They want to be cool. They want to feel comfortable where they are, feeling like even if they're not rich, they can just chill, right? And be comfortable where they are. And that's all you want. You just want the comfortableness of knowing this is what's going to make me money, so I can just, graze grass all day after I'm done. Right? And you both have these great ideas, but there is this very big stubborn piece within the King of Coins. And I'm sorry, it's Taurus energy. There is a stubbornness. I feel you both are being very stubborn, because it's coming on top of the Two of Coins. So whether you're stubborn with yourself or within this other individual, they are as stubborn as you are. And that's where the problem is coming, where you're bumping heads. Five of Cups, because you can't come to the determination. So it's disappointing. It's disappointing because you feel like you have this great idea, but yet you have to remember, we deal with this other person, they think they have a good idea too. But it's also disappointing because maybe for some of you, you don't feel that their creative idea is as good as yours. Just saying, right? Just saying. I think mine's more logical. I think mine's more creative. I think that, you know, everything that I'm working towards is better, right? Of course, cross-watcher on here and be like, no, it's me. And it could be the other one, right? Maybe it's your partner feels that way. So maybe you both feel that way, right? But however it is, it's very disappointing because maybe you also feel like they're being so stubborn, they're not really listening to your idea because they already have it in their head of what they want to do. Yeah. So it almost feels like you're aiming in one direction and you're aiming high, and maybe you feel like you're aiming in a better direction than they are because you're seeing it from a different point of view, right? No matter what, there's different points of views going over here. If you're single and you're doing this alone, you need to aim for what you believe is going to bring you to the better prosperities and stabilities, right? Going for your heart's desire and aiming in the right direction, so that way you know exactly where you're going. So when decision making comes, my friends, you want to go with what your heart really says, right? Queen of Coins, you just cannot, no. It's just stubbornness again. That's all I see in this is stubbornness to want to bump heads. That's really all it is. Because see, with the Queen of Coins, it could be, okay, I feel guilty because I'm not listening to you. Maybe there's a piece inside of you. Maybe they're guilty for not listening to you, or you're not listening to them, or you're not listening to yourself. Okay, fine. But there's also this stubbornness no matter what, because Capricorn and Taurus is the most stubborn of the zodiac. Everybody knows this, and then Cap comes next. Why? Because they're going to stand their ground for what they want. So there's still this stubbornness in saying, I'm not listening. So you could say they're guilty of being so stubborn. They're not listening to me at all. They just want to be the emperor. Well, the problem I have here is it feels like you're both doing the same thing. It feels back and forth. But you guys have to come to common ground. But I do feel, and I will say this, and I'm not going to say who it is, but I do feel with the Five of Cups, with the Queen of Coins, that someone's a little more illogical about the situation than the other one. Meaning they're fantasizing a little bit more on something that's a little illogical more than super stability, right? Like for instance, I don't know, I'm just going to throw it out there. I think that, you know, if you had a boutique and you sold many different kinds of items, would be the better thing. You know, I know somebody's out there like, yes, she went with me. But I'm just saying, seriously, Libra, Scorpio, I'm telling you, the boutique would be better because you get to sell the cups, the coffee mugs, and the t-shirts together than just having a t-shirt store. Why? Because if people aren't just interested in just buying a t-shirt, they would give them other options like coffee cups and things of this nature, right? So you would get more people into your boutique than you would just a t-shirt store. So that would be more logical, and aiming higher, right, for things that people would want to have more, to bring more people in. So when I'm saying they're not as logical, that's what I'm trying to say, right? You're thinking about a whole database, or they're thinking about, whoever was thinking boutique, right? They're thinking about the whole database of how many people we can actually bring in, how many customers can we have, because your, you know, clientele would be a lot higher than just a t-shirt store. So I think this is where this is going, right? You're thinking of it just on a very small thing, and you're aiming super high, Libra, Scorpio. You're saying, but we want lots of customers. We want them to be able to bring in and see what we can do, right? Yeah, because you're using intuition, and it's almost like they're not listening to their intuition. They're just going on what they like. Now, look, I understand, and I did say go by your heart's desire. I get that, but if you're not logically thinking or using any kind of intuition, you want to make sure that if you're doing something that you're still going by what's right. So you want to go with your heart's desire with still aiming high, right? Because you want to use some kind of well, this is what people would want to do, right? I mean, you want to be successful. So if they're not listening to you with the Knight of Swords, literally all that is them building a wall. They could be downplaying your idea because they're being stubborn, your ideas and your creative thoughts and your intuition and dreams. And it's almost like they just don't want that communication. It's almost like they're set in their own way. This is what I want, but I'm telling you, it's illogical. And there it is, Knight of Swords upside down. It's not logical. You have swords. There it is again, Two of Swords, illogical. They're not thinking of different options. They're just doing what they want, and that's not going to work, right? And this is where you're having this place. So you guys are going to have to come to a point where it's like, well, how do we get together and build this together? How do we get over here, right? So you have the waiting game over here. And yeah, you guys have to really work on that. You have to, travel together with the Knight of Staffs to come to common waters. And dream together. Maybe you start making a dream list together. Go weigh the pros and cons of what each of you like. So that way you can say, oh, well, I have that piece in mind. And you say, I do too, right? And then that way you can build together. Okay, come up to where you're going to go next, or whatever it is your love begins. Take it how it resonates. Three of Swords. Waiting game is giving you Three of Swords. Why? Because you still haven't come to any conclusion with the Two of Coins. You're still pros and consing each other. You're still juggling all these thoughts together. Still trying to come up with what's satisfying for the both of you, for your family, for everything. With the King of Swords, you still have communication that you need to do, and you still haven't gotten to that real, true communication yet. Someone is still building a wall. Yes, fighting, arguing. It's almost like you start trying to talk to them, and then they start arguing with you. Fighting about where to go with the Six of Swords. Well, there's many waters out here. Where are we going to take this boat, right? Are we taking it to the ocean? Are we taking it to the lake? Are we taking it to the river? What are we doing with this boat? I don't know. Six of Coins, I don't know. But I do know one thing. A lot of you might be working with a community. Maybe you need to, start looking around the community, and if you're opening a new business, you need to see what is in the community before you open your store, your online store, or your YouTube channel. Maybe you're doing a YouTube channel, who knows, right? Seeing what is out there, seeing what is available, seeing what you can do. But you need to give to each other with the Six of Coins, and that means giving to each other by listening. It's all about listening skills. Talking and listening. And this will bring in the hopes and the promises and the dreams with the Ace of Coins, but there has to be more communication and working together. And I do see great things happening, and you guys have great ideas, and I think you both have what you love. You both have things that you love. You just need to bring them together. And if, like I said, it's by yourself, it's really just going through the pros and cons for yourself and really doing some homework to see what it is that might not be as available, right? I mean, if you're literally opening a store in town and you already have that kind of store there, you probably don't want to open that, right? You want to open something else. You're opening a coffee shop, you don't want to, and there's already two in town, you don't want to do that, right? So you'll say, oh no, you know what, I'm going to open a bakery instead because we don't have one, or there's only one donut store or something like this, right? Maybe you can offer different things as well. Really get into your creative side, my friends. Okay, because it's really about being creative and getting into what you love and really showing the passions ignited. Okay. And doing what's right for your family or your, however it is. Okay, let's see what the angels have to say. But no matter what, it's really going to be what your heart's desire in making this decision. And then trying to, like I said, for a lot of you, there's another person involved. So you're going to really have to dig deep with each other. And pros and cons, that's really what this is going to be about. Trust one another. Trust in your own intuition and trust in one another so that you can communicate clearly. Yes, absolutely. And come up with a compromise. There it is. Yes, and then that way you can take action, right? Yeah, you don't even need helpful people. You don't. It says you don't. And I didn't see any helpful people. No, because it's between you and this other person, or you and yourself, you and, you know, your intuition. You don't even need to involve anybody else. And plus, you probably wouldn't want to, because you wouldn't want to give your ideas away. Like, it's kind of like if you're writing a book, you wouldn't want to tell somebody all about your book, especially if they're another writer. They'd steal your stuff from you, right? So it's something you keep more to yourself, or between you and your partner over here. Okay, definitely don't want to go talking about this all over the place. Have people steal your ideas. You never know. Okay, so you're definitely keep this to yourself, and don't be including other people into your dreams of this type of fraction, right? This is not something you all of a sudden tell them that you found this spot in the hole at the, you know, in the mountains, and it's big enough to, you know, go fishing and do all this stuff, and it's so beautiful and nobody's ever there. And then you start telling people, and then all of a sudden you get there and there's 1,000 people there, right? Because, oh yeah, man, a friend told me about this place, and I brought my brother and his friend. Next thing you know, your little hidey hole is full of people because, you know, whoops, you know. Okay, my friends, and that was it for you. Until next time, peace and love. Bye-bye.